Oh my goodness.
Make sure all my devices are turned
We
off.
are live.
Hey, everybody! Oh, it's so good to see you
This
guys.
is so much fun. I love it. I think I was having too much fun. Doing the lives on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah,
So then I
you
got
did
like
so
little.
good.
Oh, thank you.
So
Thank you. I
good.
enjoy very much that. I enjoy very much.
You're very good at it.
Oh,
So much fun.
let me make sure which microphone I have. Okay. E. Hold on. I have a feeling I
Hi,
don't.
Doug. Hi,
Can you hear
Jill.
me?
Hi,
Hey.
Franklin. Yes. Yeah.
Does it sound better?
Oh, there
Yes.
you go. Yeah, I can hear you much
Okay.
better now.
Sorry about that. Okay. All
No, I
right.
could hear you fine. Hi, Star. Hi,
All
Star.
right. Hi, Star. Good morning, Rosie's Closets. Good morning,
Oh,
Caroline Nelson. The usual people. There is Jill. Thank you
Hi,
for
Jill.
watching. Hi, Jill. Hi, Dougie, my
Dougie.
buddy. We had such a great time. I cannot even tell you. What a great time I had with Doug. I'm going to tell you very soon. Be sure to hit that thumbs up and make sure
Oh,
you're
yes.
subscribed. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Stuart White, Franklin Hill Ventures, Incredible Pickles. Oh my God, people. Okay, if you think this man is just a reseller, no, you got it wrong. The pickles. Oh my God. He's
I've heard.
incredible. Oh,
I've
he's
heard they're
amazing.
amazing.
Thank you, Daggy.
Aww.
Let's welcome incredible everybody. Help me to welcome our special guest.
Oops.
We all know Kimberly. Thank you, Kim. You're an incredible part of our team. But
Thank
today
you.
we are joined by a very special guest that I want you to meet because it's very important for me. She is like everything I do is organic. And please, let's welcome, help me to welcome Jaye Anderson.
thank you.
Yay! Hi,
Hi, Jay.
Jay.
How are you today?
Oh, for my very first live ever anything, yeah, I'm doing okay.
Oh, we appreciate you so much.
You just
We
stay pretty
appreciate
there. You
you.
stay pretty. I
Yes,
love your hat. Don't worry. I'll do the
yes.
rest. Okay. And that's a beauty. Today, I am joined for these incredible two beautiful ladies because I've I went too fast from side hustle to full time. And I don't think I would be the most indicated person, okay? And I wanted to bring hustlers, okay? Because if I I'll be honest, I was very lucky. I had Amanda to hold my hand for everything. And she came already with 15 years of experience. She already had an inventory system. She had everything. She had everything. All I have to do is change, the legal mambo jumbo that I do, which is, just trademarks, getting domains and that stuff, right? But
Wow.
today I wanted to invite someone that is going through this process, people, and a person that has been successful in many careers. With much further ado, Jay, could you please introduce yourself to our incredible audience and say anything? Don't worry. If you want to say, I'm Jay, that's it. Okay, you keep it at that.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
it.
it's fine.
Okay, I could say more, but yes, I'm Jaye Anderson, and I have been a member of List Perfectly only since September of 2021. And so I am fairly new learning. And of course, I had to jump right in and do the pro plan. So I've been pretty much on the pro plan from the very beginning, learning
Good.
all of the ropes and still learning.
Oh yeah, yeah. We always. I mean, if we're not learning, then we're not moving forward. So yeah,
Right?
always learning.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And that's a beautiful thing about e-commerce. You can't stay stagnant doing things the way you were doing it, okay, a year before. If you're doing that, you're going to be hurting in your income and you're
Yes.
going to be swing. Oops, a little like
Yep.
so. Jay, please feel free, to share as much or as little as you want, okay? But I'm inquisitive by nature, right? What do you do? What is your full-time job, please?
My full-time job right now is I'm a psychotherapist. By
Mm,
license, I'm a licensed clinical social worker,
okay.
and I have my own private practice. Have many years experience in agencies, and branched out into my own private practice about 2017,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of whittling it down now. I'm pretty much part-time.
All right.
Good.
Looking forward to scaling back from that, even though I love my practice, I love
Yeah.
what I do, and I love my
Yeah.
clients, but kind of ready for the third phase.
All right.
Yay.
And okay, so you love what you do, you have you're successful at your practice, but somehow you got curious about e-commerce. How did that happen to you? How did e-commerce got to Jay Anderson? And having in of course, I have to say, okay, I'm sorry, I don't know if I have your permission, but I love that
Sure.
you have a legal background like myself and you work with
Yes.
lawyers. So you work
Oh
with
my
lawyers.
gosh.
Now you're a successful therapist. In the my what how did reselling and e-commerce got to you?
Um, Kind of, it was an accident, really. I have to say that I had, after COVID,
Yeah.
gotten into some fitness and found
Uh-huh.
that a large part of my wardrobe uh, didn't fit anymore, thankfully.
Yeah.
And I was going to actually make
Oh.
donations.
Oh.
And I found out that looking at the prices of Goodwill and everything, I was thinking, well, shoot, I can do this myself.
Yeah.
And I said I had heard about another platform, and I went on YouTube and found a good tutorial and found myself um, just listing clothes. And
Yeah.
in that, she had talked about this thing called List Perfectly.
Oh,
And so I decided to go ahead and try it. It's like I am kind of like that black and white, all or nothing. I sold my first
okay.
couple things on Poshmark, and that was it. That was it. I was off to the races. I was off to
Yeah,
list the other
that's it. The
platform.
addiction was you
Boom.
were hooked. That's it. The
Done.
addiction
Totally,
began.
totally. It took over.
Yes.
I've always had a love for thrifting anyway. I have
Yeah.
thrifted years and years and years. So I love clothing, although I didn't know as much about labels and fashion as I'm learning
Yeah.
now,
All
you
right.
know,
Yeah.
but it just kind of caught on, and I started having fun, and I needed something else to have fun with,
Yeah.
when I came home. And like I say, all or nothing, here I am.
Wow. And when you
Amazing.
decided that, you have a successful practice, okay?
Mhm.
How did you do, okay, to compartmentalize reselling and your practice, please?
Well, part of it was self care.
All right.
Oh,
Trying to like separate and do something completely different, so that, it was fun. So it took my mind off things. I was really able to focus
Ah,
on that. I would
yeah.
focus on my reselling and totally get into that and have fun and thrift and list. And it just sort of was a good separation, because when you do what I do full time, you
yeah.
definitely have to have self care, and
All
Mm,
something that totally immersed me, you know.
good deal.
So, would you
Wow.
say that with reselling, you were able, through the reselling journey that you're taking, you're able to find that balance and that self care that you're strive for?
I'm working on it,
I love it.
because
Yeah.
yeah, I'm working on it. Balance is something that I know is important, and I could just go ahead and go run full speed ahead, hyper focus, and do all this stuff. But, I have to remember there's family. I
Yes.
have to remember I have another job. I have responsibilities. I have a husband. We like the gym. So for me right now, I'm having to kind of learn to hold back a little bit on
Yes.
Oh,
some of the
yeah.
selling,
Yeah.
and not go as full force as I would really like to, because the self care is imbalance. You need to have balance, and it is so addictive that
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, you are
remember,
so
you have other
right.
responsibilities. You know, somehow or other, food needs to get in the refrigerator.
Yep.
You know?
And then
And
you're in trouble when it doesn't. It's like, uh-oh.
Exactly. Exactly.
so so you came with experience from other businesses. What so that makes you gives you a very sharp edge because when you have your own practice,
Yeah.
okay, you have to promote yourself in a very regulated way.
Yes.
That what I'm assuming your board of whatever of physicians or whatever, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
establishes the way you can promote yourself, advertise, and so forth. But so you came with that experience already.
Mhm.
It would impress me when I first talked to you, literally, and this audience, okay, I want you to hear out because this is the reason that I was like literally begging to Jay to come over on a live session. This is what I want you to hear, Jay. It surprised me so much. Usually resellers don't do that, but what would you say were your first steps, okay, in regards of your business entity when you were resetting up your reselling business, please?
Well, one of the first things I did was make sure that it was under an LLC. Now, the I have an LLC through my practice, so I can put several businesses under there through fictitious names or things like that. Um, I've already had a tax ID number, so I was able to use that. I have, just as in my practice, I have an absolute separate business account. I have a separate business credit card that gets you points.
Yes.
Do you hear these people? Okay, people, I'm doing cartwheels right now, okay?
Amazing.
No, please go ahead, Jay. What else? So you did the credit cards with rewards. Okay, you can do cashback. You can do miles. Okay,
Mhm.
especially you can do gas. Okay,
Yes.
whatever
Yeah.
helps you to. There's different credit cards, but yes, amazing. And don't be afraid if I give you a stupid limit of $200. You start there. Okay, and then
Yes.
slowly you build the credit
Exactly.
line of your
Mhm.
businesses. But what else did you do? The number one that I really love that you said you got the domain and
Yes, yes, yes. I realized that this is definitely something I'm going to do. So I needed to come up with a name and a
yeah.
domain name. And that was kind of tricky. You want to pick out a name that is going to be easy to spell. I
Yeah.
couldn't put my name in there because I couldn't put my name in there because it's spelled Jaye. Everybody leaves the E off. So I
Ah,
learned that from my
So
practice that I
smart.
couldn't use my name for a domain. People would never find me.
Smart.
So what I did was I came up with a little name,
yeah.
Sunshine Girl Thrift. It was fun because Sunshine being in Florida.
Yeah.
Girl, I have a nickname, Girl J. Okay.
I love it.
Oh, it's so
I
cute.
love it.
Girl J. So
Yeah.
I wanted to keep the girl. So, and then I love to thrift, and I didn't want to make it specific to fashion in case
Yeah.
I diverse. So it's Sunshine Girl Thrift, and I just went on and I
Ooh.
searched, and the domain name was free. They don't cost much money.
No,
You know, they really don't.
no.
I think it was like $10 or something
Yes.
like that. So I went ahead and secured that. I haven't done a website yet.
Make sure you get
It's
the
okay.
auto renewal, okay,
Right.
on those domains, okay, because
Uh,
otherwise, they expire and then someone else gets it, and then
Mm.
all of a sudden it's $20,000. So please, people, when you get your
Okay.
domains, click that little box that says auto renewal.
Auto
Yes, I
renew.
have all that. I get all of them from my other websites, that I had. I did build my own website for my practice, but I haven't really decided what I want to do with that yet. One thing at a time. I feel like I need to
Yeah,
get this part down, then I could go to other, but I just wanted to secure my name.
exactly. So smart.
Absolutely. And
Mm.
we have a question. So you did all the basics that
Mhm.
I cannot even tell you. I have reseller scheme. Could you please enlighten us? You had a problem that you have different names for your business in different marketplaces. Tell me, how
Yes.
was that for you? How did you feel at that moment? And please, before you even talk to me, share with the audience how you felt.
Ooh. it was intimidating. Oh my goodness. It was so intimidating because I thought, oh, I've got all these names that I have to change, and I need to figure out first what I'm going to change it to, and then I knew what I wanted to change it to, and then I went to do it, and it was so easy. If you have if you have a different name on Etsy than you have on eBay, than you have on Tradesy, whatever, pick one name, go with it, and it's a simple process. It's Don't be intimidated. It's so much easier than I had it in my mind to be. I did all 8 of my
Yeah.
platforms in maybe 8 to 10 minutes. All of them. I got them all done, and I was like, I put myself through that. I do that a lot with everything, but I put myself through all that, and it was done, and I was like, oh my gosh, I felt so silly. But
Yeah.
no, don't let that be a barrier. Don't let that,
Yeah.
stop you. Don't let that be a stressor, because
Okay.
it's so easy.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then now you unified your presence across marketplaces. And then you got your logo. You're getting your logo done. Okay. And you're going to be doing like basic like t-shirts, with your logo that you're going to be sharing in different
Ooh,
reseller events.
yeah.
So, Kim, um, would you say you're embracing the organic way of promoting your business?
Absolutely. That, to me, that's the only way to go.
Mhm.
Um, it's so genuine, and it grows. I won't say it grows by itself, but it kind of does. But when you're doing it the right way, because it's so organic. I know I
Yeah.
mean, I'm using the same word, but it's just
Yeah.
that's the way I want it to be.
At your
I know
space and yeah, at your
exactly,
pace and speed.
exactly.
That's
Yes,
important. When would you say, okay, did you start thinking, Kim, about going full time? Because I remember I met you in Boss Reseller Remix 2021 when we just came out of the pandemic lock
yeah.
again. We're like people, real people in
Oh
three dimension,
no! What are
So
they?
I remember you used to have what we call, because we did, if you haven't heard, there is a blog and a podcast. It's the third most downloaded podcast episode in the Seller Community podcast of List Perfectly. We have the story of Kim. And that was very interesting because if you haven't, please go to the Seller Community podcast and search for Kim Rose, okay? Episode. It's the third most downloaded episode after my journey in the clothing vault. Okay. Um, Kim, when did you started to think, okay, that okay, I think I'm done with side hustle. I want to consider this as a full time. I'm gonna take the risk and I'm gonna dive in on it.
It was probably maybe a year into, like I started part time.
Yeah.
Probably a year from that point was when I was like really getting the feel for, what it would take to be able to go full time and that kind of thing. So it was probably a year in, and then 2 years later, there I was going full time. And it's going to be different for everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it at that point I knew there was I wanted to do something
Yeah.
different, and something
Oh,
that I could get away from my other job. Um, and when I started doing the part-time reselling, I thought, if I could make this work, this is what I want to do. So I knew early on, I was like, this is what I want to do. But then you
yeah.
go, okay, can you make it work? Can you do it? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
The
So,
money. Would you say you had some anxiety when you were switching and going into full-time reseller?
oh gosh, yes, yeah, but you know what? It was, but it was good anxiety though. I mean, if there,
Yeah.
and there is such a thing as good. It was an excitement mixed with a little
Oh,
anxiety. And the excitement overrode the anxiety for sure. You because when you get to that point where you're ready to do it, and you can, you're
yeah.
like, I can make this work. I can
Yep.
do this.
Yep.
Mhm.
The anxiety is
Uh,
it's so second place to everything else. So, don't that's another thing. Don't let any kind of, anxiety be your focus either, because that's that right there can be your downfall. So
Mhm.
And either or, you're going to have anxiety working for someone else, or you're going to have anxiety working for yourself. The choice is yours. Jay, I have a very good question from a beautiful, incredible LP member. And Tommy in Seattle, thank you for watching. Jay, what's your best sale when you went full time, or how many times, how many items were you selling per month?
Oh, in the beginning, I think it was really my best sale at the time was a Coach bag that I had.
Oh.
oh yeah.
So because I
Wow. Okay, no wonder
collected.
you got hooked on.
No,
Okay, I
yeah.
get it.
No kidding.
No.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, so that was I think that was pretty much in the beginning, and that's also something that was like, "Well, wait a minute, let me learn more about this." Um, I I don't know that I have a lot of sales every month, to be honest with you, but I think, when around the holidays, I was probably only getting about 20-25 sales a
Wow.
month, but
That's
I
fine.
really hadn't
Wow.
started doing a lot of cross posting. eBay scared the daylights out of me. So I was
All
kind of
of us,
like,
Jay, don't
That's
worry. All
everybody.
of us.
but after hearing you all, I did finally venture into eBay, and now I'm
Yeah.
doing better on eBay and Mercari. So,
Yeah.
I don't really know. I'd say 20 to 25. So I'm still pretty slow. My closet or my store is still pretty small.
Yeah.
I slowly am getting things up. Like I say, I really would like to do a lot more than I can, but with my other jobs, some days I can't even find the time to, put up one or two listings. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just breathe deep and just know that I do it when I can and that it's
Yeah.
okay.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
That's
One
perfect.
listing at a time.
That's it. That's how you
Yes.
build. It's one at a time. If you panic, you can't get anything done.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, that's so
And
true.
Jay, if you could, you're still, guys, she's still okay, she's still practicing, okay, she's still
Yes.
full-time, a therapist. I'm sorry, is it therapist, do you call it, or
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it's therapist. Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, I don't want to put it aside.
That's okay. No, you
So
didn't.
she's still doing side hustle. She loves her practice, but now she finds herself, let me correct me if I'm wrong, you find yourself that you love reselling, and this is what you would like to do full time, right?
Yes, definitely. Kind of part of my step down plan.
Yep.
You don't leave one job till you have another. And, because otherwise there's just too much pressure. And then, like I hear, you race to the bottom, you're making sales to be desperate. So I
Yes.
am just, I'm just kind of doing both and then kind of redoing it. And it's going to be like my third, career and even part of my retirement plan.
Oh, nice. Smart.
So
Very smart.
that's part
Woo.
of my retirement plan. It's like, okay, I'm giving myself this much time. Obviously, I hope it would be shorter, but I'm looking, the 5-year plan.
Yeah. So, Jay, when I was talking to you, one of the things that I was like, okay, she's going to make it, is because I heard you have an incredible companion, your husband,
Yeah.
that supports you so much and believes in you. And I love what he said to you.
Which one?
I know what he said. Okay, fine. Finally, you're gonna make now out of thrifting, because you go thrifting anyways. You're gonna be making money. So that
Yeah.
for me,
He
Yeah,
lets you
he
go. He
says.
likes for you to go now.
Yeah, he says, "Oh, at least when you go thrifting, I'm going to make some money." So, so
that's
That's
okay.
cute.
important, that you find support of your
Yes,
partners, of your friends, of your family, someone. Find
yeah,
a support, because you're gonna find a lot of people that are gonna think that reselling is, maybe not the
Yeah.
courage, especially when you have a practice. Imagine my parents when I when I told them I'm quitting, I'm not going back to banking, I'm gonna resell online, I'm gonna go thrifting, I'm gonna go bin diving. Okay.
Oh yeah.
They're going, oh, what did we do wrong? Oh my gosh.
See, I swear my mother told me, "Hi, Clara, what did I do wrong? I gave you all the
Oh.
opportunities." And I'm like, Mom, believe in me. Okay. I'm making believe it. Okay. So it was just, it's an incredible journey. Surround yourself with the right people. I could say, Kim, what is the biggest advice you could give to someone that is stressed out or nervous, but eager to switch to full time reseller? What would you tell them?
I think, the biggest thing for me was just make sure that you have your ducks in a row. I mean,
Uh-huh.
like Jay was saying, don't jump into something, quickly just because you hate your other job, or you need to do it slowly.
Yeah.
And it's so hard because that's what I did. It's so hard to do it slowly, but you're so much more prepared when you do that. And
Yeah.
you also build more confidence in yourself,
Mhm.
when you have that cushion. Um, but I think, definitely have, a certain amount saved back as a cushion, be able to pay your bills, that kind of thing. Don't put yourself in a desperate situation
Yeah.
where, you're going, oh my gosh, I didn't make enough to make the rent this month.
Yeah.
Now I have to go back to work.
Yeah.
It's so hard, but stick with what you're doing until you can get into a place where you know that you can move away from that and proceed and not be in a desperate situation.
Right.
Incredible. And for you, Jay, what would be the advice, the biggest advice you could give to someone that is eager to switch to full time? Because you're doing it, I have to say, you're doing it in such a smart way.
Well, being eager, to use that as motivation,
Okay.
but to also, you have to think forward to there's going to be summer slowdown.
Yeah.
You're going to want to take vacations. You're going to, you need them. So there's going to be time away. So you kind of want to build up and put some money aside so that you can take vacations. I had to do that, with my practice. I figure out that how much I need for 48 weeks a year as opposed to 52, so I can give myself 4 weeks off. Exactly.
Smart.
And then knowing it's slowdown. I mean, hey, even in reselling, there's summer slowdown. And in my practice, being in Florida, there is summer slowdown as
Oh,
well. I
Oh,
could have
wow.
a whole
didn't
week
even think of that.
scheduled and have half my clients cancel.
Yeah,
So,
makes sense because I could be
yeah.
going on holidays and I don't want to go deeper on my issues.
Yeah.
For some reason, no, they don't want to do that.
No,
Wow, I didn't even think of that, Jay.
I never.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Jay.
Yeah. So, and anytime I think that you're looking to do something where you're going to be self employed, you need to think ahead to those types of things. What are you going to do to be prepared? The other thing is make sure
Yeah.
you know your value.
Ooh.
Okay. Know your
Ooh.
value, understand that. What is your relationship with money? Where do you think you stand? How much are you worth? How much is your time worth? In listing and thrifting and putting all these things up so that if you're jumped in too quick and then you're racing to the bottom, oh, I got a sale, there's $5. Oh, there's a sale,
Yeah.
you're working panic. Whereas to me, I don't have to take those lowball offers. I
Gotcha.
know what it was. Somebody told me one time, you know, if there was 2 cans of soup on the shelf, a Campbell's can and an organic can,
Okay.
most people are going to pay more and go for the organic soup. So why would you go ahead
Thank you.
and
I
and
love you, Jay. Okay. I'm loving. I'm sorry. I love your words. Please, please. It's not me or Kimberly or Liz Perfect.
No kidding.
Oh,
Yeah.
tears. Okay.
Buy that organic. Get that
Yes.
organic soup. Come on.
Let's be organic, right?
Yeah.
And there's so many opportunities out there to learn and to listen and finding the right support. That's
Yes.
List Perfectly group has really been part of what has really helped me out too. There's a lot of
Oh,
groups out there, and a lot of negativity and things like that. And I'm a lurker. So when I get on a group, I lurk to see what kind of conversation and things are going on. And with List Perfectly, it was like, wow, these people are so nice. Nobody,
Oh.
from the most experienced, welcoming in the newer one. And I never asked a question that I felt like, gosh, I shouldn't have asked that
Oh.
question.
yeah.
And so I think that really has helped to encourage me, because I think this group of people is just really, really in it for each other, just not a huge competition.
Yeah, that's right. That's the community I wanted to create, Jay.
Yeah.
Back in the day, okay, 13 years ago, if you would ask, okay, what's the cheapest way, okay, to ship something, it's like literally you would be banned, okay.
Right. Exactly.
Oh
And
my gosh.
I dreamt of building a free resource on Facebook and use social media channels. And the one of the group rules that we have, okay, and this perfectly is always be kind and courteous to each other. All right, no question is a silly question. Okay, no tech support because we have such an incredible platform.
Mhm.
But that was important for me to nurture and create an environment where the most experienced or beginner feel safe to ask any
Yeah.
questions, like typical, asking that will this fit me, typical, and
Yeah.
you have measurements and everything, right? So, from those questions or any questions, I highly, like Jay said, please come over to List Perfectly Facebook group. I'm always there. Kimberly is an admin. Jay is constantly asking questions. She was struggling with the referral program. Can you tell me a little about List Perfectly referral program and what was your initial perception of it, please?
Well, my first thought was, wow, I'm not an influencer. I'm not any of these things. So who would I refer to? You know,
Yeah.
then I heard more and I was like, okay, I've seen a few people putting up their referral code in the Facebook group, when somebody would be inquiring. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I can do that.
Uh-huh.
And I went on and it asked questions, do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have an Instagram? Do you have all these things? And I'm like, oh, so my little literal brain here said that
No,
was a
no, no,
requirement.
no.
But it said that was a requirement. So I clicked off
Yeah.
of it. I was like, okay, instead of asking questions. And then in a conversation with you, I was like, oh, that's not required. Well, I beat feet and I was on there and got my code in a heartbeat. So now I have a code.
Yeah. It's like the next day she had her graphic and everything done. I'm like,
I
yeah.
love it. So just
So
know
cool.
anybody,
Yeah.
okay, any List Perfectly member, you don't need social media and you can be a referral member. You can be okay on we have cards, okay. Of course, I think it's this one. Okay. Look, we even have cards that we give for free to our incredible. This one is not showing, but some of the cards we have
Oh,
room here, so you put your code. So you can be at the post office, all right? And you see, come on, we know each other, resellers. We are in a freaking, we're in the supermarket and the way we shop, okay? We know each other. So you can be like, or anybody that needs extra money. There's so many people right now that need a side hustle. Go and share with them instead of learning how to do these, 12 platforms. Use List Perfectly, learn on List Perfectly, and then you master one marketplace. And that's how you immediately in 30 days you can start making money right away
yes.
with
Yes.
things you have around on your house. broken laptops. Okay, like I always say, for example, okay, this is not broken, but I'm gonna make it right now. Let's suppose that this broke, right? Let's suppose, right? So this is a tablet. But let's suppose you could sell the keyboard, okay, and you can sell and say, hey, shatter screen, all right, keyboard is intact, no water damage. Still,
Yep.
you can do so many things.
Yeah.
E-commerce is so big enough, and the fact that we're both selling, okay, the same mag, okay, the same plain mag, don't think that there is not enough room for all of us, because the one that buys in eBay doesn't buy in Poshmark, doesn't buy in Mercari, doesn't buy
Mhm.
in, there is so many marketplaces, and e-commerce is getting bigger and bigger, and people are starting to buy more and more online. They're not going
Yes.
back, okay? They
Mm-mm.
only go back, like, for example, collectibles, a lot of groceries, but many
Yeah.
things right now is an explosion of online purchase. In, like Jay said, what an incredible retirement plan. I congratulate you, Jay, because
Definitely.
retiring here in USA is not cheap. Is
Yeah.
not cheap. And if you see how much, okay, those caregivers, okay, are
Yeah.
when we get older, because we will need them. We will not be this young, okay? So you gotta think, okay, of your retirement. You gotta think of investing wisely. Now, what would you say were your most, when you took seriously reselling, Jay, what were your investments? What did you think about? Okay, I gotta invest on this. It's gonna cost me money. What did you do?
Um, well, in the beginning, I was probably, just doing my regular thrifting, and I realized that maybe my cost of goods was a little bit too high.
Mm.
So what
Oh,
I've done was I've really kind of, I pay a dollar, $2, and kept it low. With my credit card, I didn't have any money to invest. It was really just coming out, and I make sure I pay that credit card off.
yeah,
If I have stuff, I try not to let. I have a huge right now area full of clothes. I did my very first buy or sell out, but that's
yeah.
it. I don't
Oh,
do anything else now. It's like until that is all listed and
yeah,
things like that, then I do it. So I don't have any real capital to put in it, and I've just been doing it that way. And
yeah,
the little stuff adds up. I'll pay off the credit card. Maybe a few things will go on. List perfectly, my pirate ship, and all those things. Those fees go on there,
yeah.
but I earn my points and I pay it off.
And most
Yes.
importantly, it's a write-off. And one
It
of
is
the,
a write
Yes.
off.
so how did you do to invest? What made you invest on List Perfectly? Because you jumped into the pro plan right away. You were like, I'm going with it. How do you do side hustler in $69 a month? And that was your decision. What motivated you to do that, please?
Well, the little bit I had done, I looked at it. I said $69. That would only be a couple sales. And I knew I could make a couple sales. If anything, I would definitely cover the $69. So that's pretty much
Yes.
what I did, was just kind
Yeah,
of like, okay, I can handle this. And then just watching out for all these little things that you can buy to help, all these great ideas. There's a lot of them out there, but there's time for them, not right away.
yeah,
That's I think that's the ticket, is just trying to keep keep your debt down.
yes,
More than anything. Like I said, I had no money going into this. I didn't go into it with $100 or $200. I just went ahead and bought. I put all my clothes up,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
I actually sold them. I was like, oh, I must have good taste. But anyway,
There's a
so I
buyer
sold.
for everything, Jay.
That's it.
Yes.
And then so I took a little bit of that money and I went out and I went to a thrift store and things like that. So I just been kind of like putting it
Yeah,
back into, so what I bring in, I put back into it. I haven't really like paid myself or anything like that yet. I just keep putting it back in so that I could grow.
yeah.
That's so
One of the
smart.
things that really shocked me when I initially talked to you is like, Clara, I chose Propland, because you mentioned time.
Uh-huh.
You mentioned time saving. I'll never forget.
Yes, well, yeah, I caught on to that real quick. It's like, wow, if I could just put this if I could just put this in and I could
Yeah.
shoot it out on 4, 5, 6 platforms, whatever I want, why wouldn't I want to do that?
Yeah.
You know, some of the
Right on.
platforms I really don't sell on, but the heck with it, I just post on it anyway. You know, it's there. Why
It's
not?
so
You push a
easy.
button. I know it's so easy. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
I can push a button. I'm all for button pushing.
Yes. Boom, boom, boom. You're
That's
done.
it. It was like, wow, look at this go. You know, so
It's an investment.
it
It's
is
not
an
it's
investment.
not an expense. That's perfectly to me. It's not an expense. It's an investment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
In
It
part
didn't
of
make any sense for me
yeah.
anyway, and maybe it's just the way I do things to start at the bottom and then kind of like work yourself into different plans. I figure if I'm going to learn a plan, I'm going to learn this one.
yeah.
I decided also that it would be a commitment. I'm committing myself
There
to
you
Ooh,
go.
that's
Okay,
good.
hold on, everybody. Love
She's
this.
so
Okay.
wise.
I do that all the time with myself too. Okay. When
Mhm.
I sign up for something, I sign up for the biggest, even though, come on, and yeah, if there is someone about being that knows what it is to be broke, it's me. Okay. Came to this
Yeah.
country with two suitcases, $1,000, and a credit card. I had a limit of 30,000, MasterCard 3,000 limit. That's it. That's all I had when I came to this
Mm,
country. Then I built all these companies with my own money. So all I can say is yes, leverage, use credit cards or any kind of financial aid that you have that is not charging you. Never pay above 19% rate. Okay, please, I beg you. Okay, never, never, never accept those offers. Okay, just wait, they will send you better. Okay,
Yeah.
and if not, okay, lean on family and friends. Okay, I didn't have to do that because I had banks. Okay, but believe in yourself. Okay, start
Yeah.
with a small loan. Any family or a friend, $500. Okay, and then you can get that back in a month. Okay, and then you have already your inventory and you sold, and you can start like that. That's the beauty of e-commerce. Low entry point
yeah.
in that we can make mistakes, and those mistakes that you're doing are incredible, valuable lessons. Let's talk about mistakes, Kim. What's the biggest mistake you made when you were going full time, please? And you were like, oh, that hurt.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, it was a bad, well, I hate to say a bad buy because, anything like that, like you said, it's cheap education. It's such a cheap education. And I don't regret it at all. It's one of
Yeah.
those things where I think, wow, if I was a little more seasoned at the time, I probably wouldn't have done it. But I went to this thrift store and the thrift store was actually closing down
Yeah.
and they had gotten in hundreds of these little girls' blouses,
Oh,
and they had them for 50 cents a piece, and they were
Ooh,
new with tags. It was like Arizona brand. It wasn't, but I was like,
yeah.
oh, 50 cents. Oh yeah, I'll get those. I ended up getting like, oh my goodness, 103 of them, I think.
All right.
And I didn't, I thought, oh, well, 50 cents, that's no big deal. I can
I
sell them
can
and at least
make I
make
can
my
make a
money back.
hundred X out of that, right?
Yeah, no problem. Well, I still had them about 2 weeks ago, and this was like 2 years ago, I think I bought these. And I
Oh,
sold maybe, I think I sold maybe seven. And
oh no.
it was just something that wasn't in big demand, and I mean
Yeah.
but it was cheap. It was a cheap lesson, and
Okay.
it was okay. And what did I do with the rest of them? I redonated them. I donated them. So and that's a write off too if you want it to
yeah.
be. So
Yes.
so I hate to say anything like that is a mistake. It's not a mistake if you learn from it. So you
Exactly.
know.
But at
Mhm.
the end of the day, was a mistake that gave you an incredible, valuable experience that you can learn from it, and that's what reselling
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Jane, what would you say was your mistake or biggest regret that you had? I wish I could take that back. For example, me, I'll give you an idea, guys. I cannot believe I was I never say negative things about myself, but because I watch, I do therapy and I watch my language, and that's with the therapist. So
Yeah.
positive talking and la 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 la. Okay, but I was so stupid to send two packages to Malaysia, $3,000 of merchandise each, express, and then they did a chargeback. And
Ooh.
and chargebacks you can't fight in Malaysia. So that's not with a website. That's not with marketplaces. That's when you have your own website. So I was
Ooh.
going full time with my website. I was when you open your website and you start seeing the traffic and you don't pay any marketplaces fee is addictive. Okay. And,
Oh.
oh, I don't,
Ooh.
everything's your money. And I was so excited and going so fast, and I can't believe I was. And they bought my like rock panties, like Duran, like no, my leather jackets. They chose they chose well, and
They
that
knew what
was
they were
a
doing.
lesson that hurt very bad. Okay, I tried to dispute it back with the banks. We went back and forth. I did as much as I could, but unfortunately, there are countries like Malaysia or even my country, Argentina, all right, where trying to, let's say, negotiate with banks, okay, to clarify it chargeback or not or fraud, it's impossible. That was my biggest regret that I had, and I learned the hard way with my website. And I remember now, I made a map, okay, of the countries that have that issue.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Put a big red mark on the map on the wall. So,
So
no.
yeah, that's the only reason I say, oh man, I can't. And that's the only reason I say I was stupid, because I did it not only once, Jay, and then they came back 4 days later and they bought more, and I shipped it again.
Oh.
Double whammy. Okay, so yeah,
Ooh.
that was painful for me. Jay, what is the regret or painful?
Oh gosh. I have to say I haven't done that.
And you won't
Nobody
now because you've
international
learned
has
not
bought
to.
from me yet, so I haven't had that opportunity. But
Oh,
um, I don't I don't know that I've had anything that huge happen
yeah,
yet, but I
yeah.
Yeah.
think really just not buying like the right brands or something like that,
Okay.
So learning what sells and what doesn't sell, and then, kind of getting stuck with a lot of that, as far as that. I'm learning what sizes sell, and I might have a whole lot of extra smalls and things that are sitting here that aren't going. So that's that. And then, of course, one time I mixed up my orders.
Oh, oh, I love it.
Oh, I'm
Oh, I love it.
so
Thank you,
afraid.
Jay. Yes, I have done that many times. The
Oh,
problem is when you put the label. The
yep,
shipping was perfect, but you put the label in the wrong package.
yep,
And
yep.
it's so easy to do. You think, when you first start, it's like, oh, that's how do you mix that up? It happens when you get busy, or you know,
Mhm,
you get, you really get into, what you're doing, and oh, I gotta get, it happens. It just
mhm.
does. It doesn't matter how careful you are. Oh my goodness. Woo.
Yeah.
And
That
that's why I
to
still.
me, that
Mhm.
was terrible. When I did that, I thought my heart stopped. I'm like, "Oh my god,
Oh,
I'm never gonna do it. I'm gonna get 101 stars," and
Oh,
but
yeah.
the 2 people, the ladies were just really they helped, they sent the stuff back and forth
oh
to each
my God,
other.
you're lucky.
Yeah, it
So
worked
nice.
out. I think probably because I was, like, almost crying in there. I was like, "Oh my god, I am so
No.
sorry." And,
Oh.
now I don't do that. I literally
Yeah.
package one thing at a time.
Okay.
Everything is behind me, what's in front of me, and I print the label as I go. I make sure I also print the packing slip so that I can match everything. I'm so
There you
paranoid.
go. Yep.
That's
And
how
that's
we
how, and you
learn.
know how I avoid it? I still kept doing it on, because I ship like 20 packages a day. Okay.
Oh,
So
oh, that's nice.
you'll get there if you want. Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
But I remember I didn't stop doing, because I tried it one at a time and I was like, no, I can't be when you're doing 20. So what I did, what worked for me, all right, is leaving the packing slip, like you said, okay, I would leave and I wouldn't seal the box or leave it open, and I wouldn't seal the back or the box, and I would do a triple check. So first,
Mhm.
the first check is when we print the label. The second check is when I insert the packing slip in the bag, and I'm still checking again against the label. And the
Yes.
third check that I do is making sure the SKU and the item, because sometimes I would have, items of the same brand, different colors. So color must match. And that was my third check before finally sealing the
Yeah.
bag. And never again I made a mistake like that when I'm shipping
Cool.
so many packages, and that changed my life. Don't close the bags. Do the
Mhm.
triple check system. Imagine that you are three employees, so one is doing the shipping, the other one is doing the packing, getting the, and then the other one is just doing
Oh,
the let's say the logistic, okay, of just
Yes.
filling the package and sending it to the post office. So that's how I did, and this is the biggest advice I got from corporate of America. I was very lucky to have incredible managers in banking, and they told me, Clara, if you want to be a manager of your own boss, you gotta think of yourself like all the employees you need,
Yes.
and divide yourself. So Clara the shipper, Clara the lister, Clara the listing optimizer, Clara the packet, the one that does the packaging. So I would have all those personas and make sure, because I created those personas because I always dreamt of escalating my business. So I got into reselling to grow, not to get stagnant and always make the same amount of money.
Right.
That was my thing. So for me, that was the way to avoid mistakes, especially when I was selling expensive items. All of my
Mhm.
items at one point were $200. That was the average uh, item, that price that I would have on my store. So when you're selling, as you are escalating your business, and you need to focus on reducing mistakes and embrace, like Jay said, what are you going to do when these mistakes happen? What are you going to do when
Right.
summer comes and it's slow? What are you going to do? Where are you going to source from? What are your plans? You need to plan ahead, right?
Mhm. Absolutely. You have to think out there,
Mhm.
as a safety measure, what's different. In fact, when you mentioned like looking at SKUs, at that time I didn't have one. I didn't know. So now, since then, I've created a SKU system, which actually did save me today, as a matter of fact. But I
Yes.
was looking for the SKU on List Perfectly was not the same as what I packaged. So even
Ooh.
still, and I was holding it, and I'm like, well, how could this be this number? And it doesn't look, and I opened it and it was the wrong thing. So I was like,
there you
ah.
go.
So I fixed that in a heartbeat. But the SKU, definitely, if it wasn't the SKU, because it was both the same color, it
Yep.
was the same color
Oh,
item.
wow.
This is why I advise to get the Microsoft Surface tablet, because you can go, I don't know where, as you grow, okay, as you grow, you're gonna have, okay, the business growing. And what is important with this tablet is that it's touch. So you can go and see, okay, look, it even says the clothing bolt. I kid you not, okay. So this is how I used to do my inventory and pull my items so I wouldn't make a mistake and look at least perfectly, right? And look at the item. Okay, that was, like I said, my first check, my first process check. Okay, when I was reducing mistakes, you gotta hyper focus on reducing mistakes and understand mistakes are part of the journey. Getting frustrated, just wasting your time, okay, on negative energy, and maybe engaging on posts on Facebook that are related with those problems and not looking for a solution. Please don't do that. Okay. Don't waste your time on that. Don't
Yeah,
even waste a second. What do you think about that, Kim?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No doubt.
You have to think, you have to do
Mhm.
forward thinking. You have to be kind to yourself because you're going to make mistakes no matter where, whatever. You're always going to make mistakes. And
Yeah.
it's looking to the solution instead of really putting yourself down, being in the problem. It's like, okay, this is what happened.
Yeah.
What can I do to fix it?
Hmm.
Wow.
Well, and
There you
that's
go.
another thing with community. If if you have a community to turn to, whatever it might be, say a Facebook group,
Yeah.
and if you have a problem or an issue, say, hey, has anybody else had this happen? What did you do?
Yes.
Or, if you're just reading, going through and just trying to learn some things, people will post about that kind of thing. And you can go, I need to make a mental note of that because now I know what to do if that happens to me.
Mhm.
It's like you said, Jay, it's you know, always best to have that plan and just try to get as much knowledge as you can
Mhm.
as you go, because like you said, it doesn't matter. You're going to make a mistake. We're human. It's going to
Yes.
happen.
Yeah.
And you
Yes.
have
Look
to
at
give yourself grace over it, learn
Right.
from it, and, move on.
Right.
I love it. Look at what Tommy says. Show me someone who's never made a mistake reselling without paying your LP
Oh,
for it.
oh,
I love
yeah,
I
Tommy,
love you, Tommy.
you're not gonna be paying out for that, Tommy, because
I'll do it
nobody's.
too. Okay, okay. It's on the table. Okay, come and tell me that you never made a reselling mistake and LP free for a year.
Oh no.
Oh, wow.
Ay, ay, ay.
What's a challenge?
Ay, ay, ay,
Yeah,
no, I love it. It's just I would say in also another mistake that I've done, okay, it was not being patient and fast to reply to questions. I did not realize that marketplaces will expose the visibility of or the ranking of your listings if you answer the questions faster. And hello, it makes sense. They want you to take care of the customer. So that was another lesson that I learned the hard way. I wouldn't answer, I would have that W2 mentality. I'm not going to answer questions over the weekend. I
Yeah.
want my time off, you see. And that's when they're shopping and all. And I always say the question, will this fit me? I always call it, these questions are ask, tell me more, sell me more.
Right.
Okay. Because
ah,
sometimes they just want to hear there is a real person. And, you just tell them, well, I wouldn't know based on your height and weight because everybody has a different body, structure, but you're welcome. I would take more measurements, and la, 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 and if there is returns, we'll take care of you. Please just be careful with the item when you ship it back.
Mhm.
Done. And that was always worked so well. When I changed that and I started to answer questions over the weekend, wow, my sales exploded.
Mhm.
and you can actually earn badges on some of the platforms for that. You get, I think on Grailed, you get a little jackrabbit,
Hmm.
little jackrabbit icon.
Mercari
Kind
too,
of,
Mercari too,
yeah,
Facebook
yeah,
Marketplace. I think
yeah,
they do, and of course, eBay with giving you the incredible top-rated seller with the highest standings and la 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 la, right? But that's something that I need you to embrace. Making mistakes, and that's something that I always say. One of the ways that I grew my business fast is as soon as I knew all the parts of how reselling work, I immediately started to hire, okay, physical assistants. And what I did best, what I did to make my full-time hustle and then build this perfectly, was to hire these college kids that they're already laptop savvy. They already know how to use all the devices,
yeah.
and you show them any software and they fly on it. And because LP, the pro plan, I would suggest the pro plan when you do this, is because it asks questions and
Yes.
then those answers are formatted into a professional looking listing. So you don't need to hire trained, or in training with LPs minimum. It's like literally answer the questions, enter the measurement, take the
Right.
picture, literally,
Yeah,
come on, okay.
it's true.
I think
So
it's very user friendly. I mean, I jumped on and was kind of doing stuff before I realized that there were, tutorial videos and things. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'll go back and watch those now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how I was when I got it. I was terrible. I didn't even, go and look at any of the instructions. I just jumped right in. But even doing that, it just seemed so intuitive. I didn't have any problem with it. But
Yeah.
there again, if a lot of people learn differently too, and we do have a
Mhm.
lot of videos and tutorials and stuff for, people that prefer to learn that way. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's
No, absolutely. And I just want to mention, hey, congratulations, Star, with your badge on Kittysen. Kittysen also has, and
Yay!
Tommy, look
yeah.
at. I
Oh my
love it. I
goodness.
love
Yeah, I
it.
forgot about that one.
So I want to share a little with our audience free resources that we have that you should be okay. This is what you want to do when you're listening. Listen to a podcast, okay? Are you in the verge, no, edge, okay, of becoming a full-time reseller? Are you on the fence maybe to do a side hustle, reselling side hustle? You sold a couple of things, maybe you got a bad customer and you had a bad experience. Just know that this happened to everybody. And here's the story of Kimberly Rose on the Seller Community Podcast, okay, that is sponsored by Liz Perfectly. I am the co-host with Doug Smith, and you can find us in Apple, YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, Pocket Cast, Google Podcast, Breaker, blah, 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 okay, keeps going. And this is an incredible resource, okay, that you're going to have free, okay, with Liz Perfectly. Another resource that I want to share with you right away that is very important, and we were just talking about it. This is where you're going to make friends. This is where you're going to be safe and you can ask questions, all right? Uh, this is the Liz Perfectly group, okay? You can see Facebook, okay? Liz Perfectly. And this is our group. You can see I'm giving a reminder of eBay Open, all right? I received an email from eBay today about shipping, label adjustment, underpayment, blah, blah, blah. Clara, when are you going to release, something that synchronizes? I gave an answer that apparently people like very much.
Yes. It was quite the response. It was like, what?
Yeah. And then we have Instagram, Liz Perfectly, on our incredible new account, Liz Perfectly Inc. Okay, please, if you were following us on Liz Perfectly, please follow us on Liz Perfectly Inc. This is our look at this. We're talking here with Harry Tornado. All right. You can see a summary on what we did on FlipCon. All right. It's just incredible. A quick video. Check that out. So there it is. I'm walking
I
in.
love that one. I love that one.
Check that out. Having fun, signing hats with resellers. This was an incredible, incredible event. I cannot even tell you how this is what you should be doing. This is the kind of investments you want to do when you want to become a full-time reseller. Speaking about that, we have also another resource that I want to give. Okay, is well, let's see. We have also TikTok and of course our YouTube channel. But when it comes to Kim, who were you following? Who do you follow usually? Okay, or do you follow someone to keep you stimulated and engaged on reselling?
Um, the main, well, on YouTube, it's Vicky and Katie. They have always been, um, like since the very beginning of me just starting out, before I even started selling.
Yeah,
That's when I would, watch them and do research and that kind of thing.
yeah,
And for, you mean like on Instagram or just in general? Because I like on Facebook. I'm a member of the Boss Facebook group. I'm
yeah,
in Stars, Flippin' Hippos pod, yeah, Reseller pod group, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, and just if you can find groups like that that are positive and supportive, that's what I gravitate towards. And as far as just staying motivated, again,
yeah.
Katie and Vicky on YouTube, those two, they have been such a huge inspiration to me
Oh,
over the past, 3.5 years.
yeah.
But they are always they're always one of those channels that I can watch and just get, really
Authentic,
fired
huh?
up. Yeah, and get fired up, and that kind of thing. Um, I it's just like I said, find channels or groups or whatever that, you know, that are positive and make you feel good. Don't stay in a group that, is negative, or, one that you don't feel supported in. That's a
Yeah.
long answer, I know, but it's one of those things that I really, believe in, because the
Yeah.
community, if it wasn't for this community, I don't think I would have been able to make it. I really
Yeah.
don't.
There
Mm-mm.
you go. Thank you. That's so important. I have to admit, I wouldn't have made it either. Okay, on this perfectly. You've seen there is like, even, I don't know, even my cousin right now is opening a business for cross posting. I swear. So
Yeah,
if
that's
I wouldn't
true.
have the community that I have, okay, if I wouldn't have all the additional tools that I have built
Mhm.
for our community. And now I'm building Listing Party, which is going to be the first platform where resellers can meet each other, find vetted
Mm.
VAs, find someone always listing, optimizing listings, and send questions 24/7. That's where we invest, in the
Mhm.
community. And again, thank you for saying that, because that, if applies as a reseller, I promise you, applies on any other business, whether reselling,
That's
like I
true.
said, is the destination or the journey that you choose to go somewhere.
It's
Mhm.
very true. Yeah. You have to have that support, no matter what that support might look like. You have to have
Absolutely.
it. You have to have
Yeah.
it.
And speaking about support, team list perfectly. Don't we have free list perfectly for people today? Come on, team. Who's gonna get
Ooh.
free LP? Come on, come on. And as always, please stay tuned this Friday. Okay, I think today. Oh, actually, gosh, my team. Okay, I'm giving a good one away. Do you need a laptop? Go to Instagram or TikTok. Okay, we're gonna. Oh, who did it? Okay, because we have a free. Oh, there it is. Okay, people, I'm gonna do this. Are you ready? So we have a free crop. We're always giving free laptops. So TikTok, you're gonna go to List Perfectly, my TikTok channel, and check this out.
You've never been to heaven, have you? Ooh, Mr. Right. You've never been to heaven.
You guys have the best videos.
That is so great.
The best. They
So
crack me up.
yep. So this is our TikTok channel. Okay. We're always giving free laptops. All right. I've been there, guys. Oh my God, look at Tiffany's on fire. Check that out. Today's
Boom.
winner. 1 month of free list perfectly go
Woo.
to Caroline Nelson.
Yay,
Yay!
Carolyn!
Caroline, congratulations. You're so
Yay.
welcome. Make sure,
Aw.
Caroline, you have to email Tiffany at tiffany@listperfectly.com, and she will take care of you. Whether you have already list perfectly or you never had list perfectly, this is your chance to have a free month of list perfectly. Congratulations, Caroline. Thank you for watching.
Yay. That's
I love
awesome.
it. So we're coming to the end, okay? But okay, I want to share something. That Tommy says, I can't do podcasts. I zone out. I'm a visual person and I need
Oh.
to see my peeps on YouTube. Guess what? Tommy, I love you, man. I wouldn't leave you, without a resource. So just know that each of my podcasts, okay, check this out. Each of
Mhm.
my podcasts, I put it live here,
Our
and there
friends
you
Emma
are.
and Kat are returning today. Emma and Kat are the co-founders of
There you
Wholesale,
go.
and
So
they've been
that's a
connecting
podcast.
sellers and buyers.
Yeah.
So that's a
Yeah.
podcast that we put live. It goes on audio format, Tommy, but also goes on video format, as you can see. So yes, there is more. Please subscribe to LP. We have this is Kat and Emma with Wholesale, an incredible partner of List
Yay.
Perfectly. We love them. Kat and Emma,
Woo!
congratulations. They were accepting in an accelerator, Techstars in Texas. I'm so happy for
Hey.
them. I
Mm.
am so happy. Supercell Trish says, invest in yourself and in your business, attending conferences.
Oh,
Like
yes.
Mhm.
like Jaye Anderson said, that is commitment, because now you have put
Yes.
the money, you're taking
Mhm.
serious, and you can't afford to toss money away. Right? That right, Jay?
All right, get that non-refundable ticket.
Yeah, there you go. Right
I was
on,
looking at that.
Jay.
I'm like, no, if I do refundable, so I did my non-refundable ticket. I gotta go.
Good for you. Yeah, you see, and that you can't chicken out. Not that you would anyway, but then
No, gotta
people that go
go.
out and get their tickets, like, no, you have to go now.
Ay, ay, ay.
You won't regret it.
No.
Seriously, anybody that can make it to any in-person meeting, just go.
That's
Just
right.
go.
Yeah.
That's right. So we have eBay Open. Liz Perfectly will be attending eBay Open 2022 in Los Angeles. My team will also be in Texas. And then I'll be attending Posh Fest. And then we're going to have Boss, Reseller Remix, and Jay. Kim, come and meet Kim and Jaye Anderson. Jay, our winner of a free ticket to Boss Reseller Remix. Congratulations, Jay.
Yay!
Woo.
Can't wait to meet you in person.
Talk about making a commitment, win something, right?
There you go.
How was it for you? You have to collaborate, you have to do some, collaboration with your husband, with your practice, because it
Mhm.
wasn't easy, right, Jay?
No, it really wasn't. I had to look around and it was like, okay, well, you said it. My husband is supportive. He's like, go.
Aw.
It's like, okay, all right, that
Yeah.
was easy. Thank you. He said, you love it. You're doing it. They seem like great people. You need to go. I was like, okay. So then I just looked over my schedule and I think I can rearrange it fine. And so I was like, okay.
Yay. That's awesome. So
There you
awesome.
go. There you go. This is
That's
so
so awesome.
exciting, and if you're not attending Boss Reseller Remix in person, don't forget they're doing it virtual this year.
Yeah.
So you can still be part of us, okay, and get that excitement. I promise I'm gonna leave all the energy I can, okay? And that I love giving energy and
Can't
good
wait.
vibes to everybody. Thank you, Sunny. Yes, TikTok, okay. TikTok is the future
Oh, good.
resellers. You
All
have
right.
to open. It's so forgiving, it's so easy. You know how Instagram is like a little complicated, okay? So
Yeah.
TikTok is really easy to go live. People go literally, I kid you not, they're like literally they stand up and they're like they're selling, whatever, and they're selling. It works. It works. So congratulations,
Wow.
Sonny. Great investment again. I highly recommend it. Remember, all these channels, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, they will not be free in 10, 20 years. That I promise you. That I guarantee you. Enjoy this. We
Exactly.
are on an unprecedented event where we can organically without paying. Look at me, no advertising, no sales. You see all the other companies that get like $10 million funding. They're advertising everywhere.
Oh.
And here is Clarita going, with her organic, with my organic marketing, and inviting incredible people like Jay, supporting, giving my free month of List Perfectly. So I highly recommend you again. Surround yourself. Look what I'm doing. And I'm look what I'm doing, guys. I can't believe it. No advertising, no sales team, and I surround myself with the right people. And look at my groups, look at my company. If I did it, you can do it. And Kim is doing it, and Jay is doing it. You can do it too. Let's do it together. Join our Facebook group, join our YouTube, whatever social media channel it is, so we can help you right away. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Jay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.
Happy Labor Day
Oh,
Yay.
yeah.
holidays. Don't work too
It
much.
is.
No shipping on Monday.
Yay.
Yay.
Bye, everybody. Have a beautiful
Bye.
Bye. Have a good
weekend.
weekend.